One of the reasons I elected to go with the survey, and interestingly enough, I was visited by an AMS representative actually twice. The first time I didn't feel that we were ready to take that step. About 2 years later, when they came to my office, I was challenged by what the individual had to say. I felt like we had issues here at Keystone. One of the things that you learn when you go through a process like this is that there are no surprises. We all as business owners know where the problems are. We just are either reluctant to address them or we don't have the resources. I actually decided to move on with AMS because there were some fundamental problems here at Keystone. Profitability was not where I had wanted it to be. We were struggling to find answers to those kinds of issues, and it seemed like there were just some systemic problems in the organization that needed to be addressed. And I felt as though AMS would be able to provide the additional assistance that we needed to put a plan in place to correct those things. I feel that we gained a number of things having gone through the AMS process. First and foremost, they committed a turnaround in our profitability and net operating income, which was realized in the first year. We're actually in our second year now, but we saw a dramatic turnaround in our net operating profit from what I'll say the 0 year to year one after implementing the AMS strategies. One of the other things that we learned is that not everyone is going to sign on to this, and there will be some defections. There will be people that will not want to be held accountable. So there should be an expectation that there will be some fallout as a result of this. Personally, I felt like I had gotten to a point where I didn't even want to come to my own company anymore because I knew that there were problems and they were starting to become overwhelming to me. And it's that I needed a second, third, and fourth arm syndrome, and I just didn't have it, and I wasn't sure how to go about correcting things. Once I dejunked the business and got my life back in order, corporately, so to speak, I enjoyed coming back to work again, which has been a tremendous uplift for me. I actually received a call recently from someone who was contemplating using AMS's services, and he asked, what was your overall experience? My response to him was that they did what they said they were going to do. I explained how we were struggling with the profitability of the company and with some operational issues, and I could tell just in speaking with him that these were the exact same problems that he was experiencing in his company. So he became more and more comfortable in the conversation the more I started to talk about our own experience with AMS. When we first started this process, I used to like to say that we were at the bottom of the hole looking up. We just felt very, very despondent about some things that were taking place. There were cultural issues and there were financial issues. And then 1 year later, we went through this very labored process, but at the end of it, it was like the clouds parted and the sky got blue, and we feel very, very optimistic about the future of the company and the direction that we've chosen to take it. One of the best tools that we were armed with after going through this process was the flash report, which enables us to get weekly data rather than reports that might have been monthly or quarterly. So we're able to make course corrections much more quickly than we ever were in the past, and we're getting better data than we ever had in the past. One of my concerns for my wife, who's the operations manager here at Keystone, was that the challenges that we were facing with the profitability and the accountability issues was making it very difficult for her to want to come to work as well. I was afraid that she was going to burn out. And that was one of the other reasons why I committed to AMS for the engagement. And I'm happy to say that once the plan was in place, once she started working with the consultants, once it became clear the direction we were heading in, I could just see a change, like a physical weight being lifted off of her shoulders. One of the other things that worked very well here is that there was a peace for both of us. I didn't feel that she was being unfairly burdened with all the tasks to do, nor was I. We were able to divide the challenges and the labors pretty much equally down the middle.
We did the business survey because we were at a time in our company's financial standing that was not looking promising. So survey came, and it just happened to be at the right time, and we were looking for some assistance, and that's what prompted us to fill out the survey. I think after we spoke to AMS, they were very engaged, they were very impressive, very knowledgeable, and probably the most knowledgeable people we had spoke to. So, we didn't know what was going to happen, but we thought it was worth it. Our company gained a lot from the project. There's kind of a multitude of things there. Really, I think the best thing was that we had very knowledgeable consultants that had a lot of experience in management. So they had seen it all. So there's nothing that we were going to present to them that they were not familiar with or didn't know how to address. The personal gains from the project, it was like having a high-level manager be a partner with you. I absolutely look forward to when the consultant was here, the next time he was going to be here. It really was like having a partner help you attain the goals and implement initiatives, and I can't say enough how knowledgeable the consultant was. There was nothing that we had experienced or were going to experience that he did not have a history with at some point in his career. What I would tell a friend or a colleague or anyone interested or concerned about their business, about American management, is they were a valuable asset to me and our company. There are a lot of consultants out there. What was different really is they're results oriented. They are committed to helping you achieve results. It's not theory. It's not read this book. It'll give you some ideas. It's they're there. They're your partner, and they're going to stick with you until you get your goals achieved. The improvements that I can say that happened for Keystone financially, we realized a needed 2% net operating profit increase in our company. That equated to over $200,000 of profit on the bottom line. The other improvements were probably operational that translated eventually to financial, that helped us with efficiencies and accountability from the management staff, middle management. We put a lot of reporting in place. We had reporting, but we kind of tweaked it a little bit. We have a forecasted cash flow now, among other things. Many of the changes that we implemented as far as the employees, a lot of it was very seamless. So it didn't seem to them like we were having a big undertaking of changes. It was very smooth. It was, we're going to report things differently. This is what your responsibility is going to be. For example, we implemented what's called a flash meeting that came from our consultant's suggestion that every Thursday, 30 minutes, the managers come in and they are each to report, how many open work orders, how many things were sold, how many contracts were done, like key performance indicators. And rather than me asking them those questions, they had to come to the meeting with the information. They had to find it. And I'll tell you, a manager does not like to come into a meeting once a week and say something was not accomplished. So, but I do think many of them like the accountability, and for people who do not, that becomes very evident. I can't say enough about my consultant. They're really in there with you, and they keep you focused. You can get off track with drama that goes on, people issues, and my consultant really just kept me focused on getting results. And he would actually talk to me about some of the things that were going on. He said, that's not your concern at the moment. That's not your issue. Let's stay on track and let's implement these initiatives. these things will make some of that other stuff go away. He was always available. Even if he wasn't in the office, I would email him. He actually helped me with a lot of maybe even tasks. Like he went through and he made sure all the job descriptions for every position were all consistent. If you're a manager or senior level manager, you're busy. So you don't always have the ability to get some of this other stuff done. And a lot of members on your staff are busy. So I just can't say enough about my consultant. He's very, very knowledgeable, has managed hundreds of people at one point reporting to him in his career. So there was nothing, again, that I was going to tell him that he had not experienced at some point in his career. And that was very comforting.